Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here, and I'm doing my mid-month How to Kill a Kit with Style layout share, and there's not much to share as it turns out. This layout that I just did is page one of a two-page layout spread that I'm planning to do, and I'll go over the elements here and then I'll do a process on the second page. The story is about a turtle that my granddaughter Ava found in our yard, and she named him Lucky Cheese. And she, on this day that all these pictures were taken, she had decided that after feeding him lettuce and taking him for walks and so forth, that he'd like to be back home at the lake and at the park nearby us. So the first page is her kind of saying goodbye to him, petting him, having him on her lap. And the next page are the photos of her releasing him. So what I'll do here, I'd like to show you, there are a couple things that I want to show you that gave me the basis for this. First of all, my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit this month, as it was last month, is all Vicky Bouton. And I cross all collections and have embellishments, primarily newer embellishments from the newer collections. But I chose that collection to go with these pictures because I had made these mixed media, these spray ink turtles with this stencil. Let's see, where's the stencil? Let's see. And I kind of wanted to use those. I knew I would use the big one on one of the pages, and I imagined the big one on the page with the larger picture, but that's not the way I ended up with my design. And then the smaller one, and I guess I used it this way. One of the things that happened was when I sprayed the ink to make these positive images, there was some ink left, and I ended up making this negative image. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to use that for, but I have lots of childhood stories to tell about turtles. I used to collect turtles. Other girls collected Barbie dolls, and I collected turtles. And I had many of them we had an old bathtub that sat outside the house, outside my bedroom window, as it turned out, and I arranged a rock for them to climb up on. I took them out into the sunshine every day, and so this was, I have a lot, and I collect little decorative turtles. I guess I should go get some. I have a whole collection of different, clay turtles from New Mexico and lapis lazuli from France, and so on and so forth. So I even have a turtle, I think, from the Louvre, and it's a carved crystal. So, okay, put that away. What I'm doing here for my 2 pages, I'm doing a couple of challenges. One is the Mind the Scrap Summer Challenge that has 5 specific requirements. I have to have animals, I have to have wet mixed media, I have to have stars, I have to have custom cut shapes, and these squares were punched, so that qualifies. And I have to have 5 of an item, and they have to be identical, and 5 and only 5. So I've got these 5 sequins on my first layout. The second thing I'm doing is I'm following a challenge that the Scrap Squad, a scrap lifting group on Facebook, did a cyber crop this weekend. And they put out 9 challenges, and challenge 5 was squares. And there were 2 example layouts that you could lift. This first one had small squares arranged kind of like a crossword puzzle, is what I took from that. The other was just a 9-square grid, and there were kind of some wonky layers in there. So for my layout that I've done, I used the 9 square grid, except because I had my large photo and my large turtle, I only used 6 squares, but you kind of get the same effect. And I used my wonky layering pieces. Sometimes I had the turquoise paper above the layering piece. Sometimes I had it below and I layered on top. I fussy cut flowers out of a Vicki Boutin, an older Vicki Boutin collection. This turquoise is probably one of my favorite papers ever in the history of papers. I use that color a lot, but I wanted to add in, I wanted to use this title. Lucky came from let's see, Secret Not Secret Kit Club acrylic overlay that was a Bella Boulevard piece. And I've been fussy cutting words out of it and using them on titles for, I don't know, almost a year now, I'd say. And this cheese was from a set of thickers that Vicki Boutin had in the Color Kaleidoscope collection. And it said "Say Cheese," and I just pulled out the cheese, and I'll have to figure out what to do with the "say" later. So that's enough about this page. I'm going to quickly do the second page, and I hope it's quickly. Here, the second page is where I'm using the smaller squares, and I'm going to arrange the photos in such a way that I can do a line of these, and they'll give kind of that effect of the crossword puzzle. And I don't know how successful that's going to be, but I'm willing to give it a shot, and if you're willing to watch, we can both enjoy the lessons I learned from any mistakes I made. Okay, what I'm doing here is putting some foam on the back of the turtle because I want it to kind of come up, but then I'm going to put him aside, put these flowers aside. I'm going to kind of just lay the pictures down. I'm not doing any matting on the photos, nor am I popping them up, which I normally do, but the key thing that I'm going for here is the arrangement, and the photos have enough color in them. There's not a lot of white in them, so they contrast already rather nicely with the white paper. So here, this is in this photo, we've put Lucky Cheese down on some grass, and let's see if you can see that a little bit better. Let me get a little more light on that. And he was kind of tentative, and we thought he'd just walk right off into the water, and he didn't. So Ava, in this one, Ava has put him into the water, and he's swimming off. And a little bit later, this photo was taken. It's not very good because what you're seeing is an image of turtles underwater. The only part that's above water are their heads, and another turtle has come to join Lucky Cheese, and so we figure he's found his family in this when she put him in. So I've got the photos there. I think that leaves room for my large turtle without, you know what? It does not. So everything moves up. Well, actually, let me just move these up. And I think that may have been the way I had them when I dry fit. Whoops. Hopefully the turtle will cover that. And I've said this many times before. I hope you enjoy my mistakes, watching my mistakes as much as I enjoy making them. Okay, I think this is going to go there. I like that his little legs kind of stick up. It kind of looks like these turtles. So now I'm going to see what to do with these fussy cut areas. We'll see where I end up putting the title. I'm going to start gluing down these squares, and they're going to kind of overlap there, and that's perfectly okay with me. And they'll kind of come down. What I liked about the example is that the squares don't just surround that rectangular photo. They kind of are a little bit offset. So that's kind of the effect I'm going for here, although it's I've got a little bit different setup. Again, I'm repeating because this is a two-pager, and it isn't your typical two-pager where it's one layout stretched across 2 pages. These are actually companion pages, I would say. I wanted to tie them together. They're kind of tied together by the big honkin' turtles and the rather distinctive color scheme of them. But I thought that these aqua dotty papers that I just love, I thought these would kind of tie the 2 pages together nicely. And I've fussy cut flowers from the same paper that I cut flowers in for the first page. So I'm going to put this one here, put some foam on the back, a little there, and kind of have it overlapping those squares. And we're in a rather beautiful park here where this lake is, and there are some really pretty trees and flowers, and so having florals on a page about releasing a turtle into the wild isn't such a stretch. So I'm doing some more foam on the back of this one. I may have made that one a little too wide, maybe not. And even though I'm tucking it under the turtle, I'm still popping it up a bit because I like the shadows that are cast down here. So hopefully you can see that. Now to add in the title. And I've selected this You've Got This. Usually I use all of my You've Got This alphas to talk about Ava and her fight against leukemia. And I thought I'd use it kind of as something that she's telling Lucky Cheese, you've got this. You'll be okay out here in the wild. And so that's kind of that's how I look at this layout. And I thought that would be a good use of it. It isn't exactly, and other things I considered, I thought about using New Day. I thought New Day right there might be nice. It's the right color. And Lucky Cheese is indeed embarking on a new day in the lake. And I realize by doing this, I'm covering up. Okay, so what I like about that is it's sitting right next to the turtle who's looking tentative and tentatively and not really wanting to go in the water. And it's kind of what Ava is saying to him there. Okay, next thing I need is a star or a group of stars. I'm probably going to go for the same little grouping of stars. I have those same colors over here. I've got orange, aqua, and silver. So I'll go with this silver. There's the aqua and the orange in no particular order or placement. I also have a big star on the other page, and I'm choosing not to do a big star on this one. I thought about maybe using some of these banners in the corners there, and I thought I really don't want to distract too much from this big old turtle. And so I'm going to, I'm going to kind of take some of that back. I used, on the other page, I used this black and white checked star. And I have a black and white checked circle here that it's not peeling up from the page very well. So I may not be using it. Actually, I'm going to use it. I'll just glue it myself. I'm going to cut it and maybe try to find a couple places to use it. Maybe one over here and maybe one in here. There we go. Okay, I'll do that. I like adding what kind of look like tabs, and I also like backing colorful florals with anything black and white, and it kind of goes with those black and white leaves there. Okay, that's done. All I need to do are the sequins. And I like doing lines of sequins when I have to use 5 exactly alike. I have, I think in another video I talked about this wonderful little bucket of sequins, and they all look aqua when you look at them. But some are green, some are purple, and some are bluer. So I've chosen the bluer ones. I picked the greener ones for the other page just to provide a little bit of variety. I'll go with the bluer ones here. I'm going to do 2 of them down here in this white spot. I like to provide something of interest when there's a bright color and then kind of a stark white. It's kind of like needing to fill the silence with words. I need to fill the void. And I think I have room for 3 going this way. So I'll do that. Let me put those down. And I had such huge plans to use my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit, both last month and this month, and I haven't done nearly as much as I thought I would. I've had some challenges that kind of load, for example, is kind of focusing on, this one is a different color, and I think it's because I have 2 sequins stacked together. So I'm going to pull that one off and put this one down. I have to have them the same color or I don't get my 5 points. Okay. This is done. I have done a little bit of journaling here. I will probably add some journaling. To be honest, I've actually documented this whole Lucky Cheese story in my Project Life book for that year, which I think was 2013. And this is just the first 12 by 12 page I've made. Or these are the first 12 by 12 pages, and I just wanted to use my stencils, kind of all driven by the stencils. So this is what they look like together. I'll put the finished pages out. For the love of pretty paper, likes having bunting this month, and florals, and punches, and water, and there's water here. I didn't use Sunkissed in the title. I've got layers of things, and I've used lots of squares. So I've got 3 challenges that I've met here, and I've killed a few items and done 2 layouts from my How to Kill a Kit with Style. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope I have more to show you at the end of the month. I have big plans, but you know, sometimes life gets in the way. So thanks for watching. Enjoy. Bye.